Doubles and coffee, Foster boy, they coming at you, Foster. Foster, you should have never take on Rowley, so. You see, Foster, red couch politics, and then throwing a man out of office at Bal House, they now catch you, Foster, because you wanted position, Foster. You see, General Secretary, Foster. When the court, the police had to serve documents, Foster, all of them run and hide. Marvelous Marva, who have no faction now because nobody want Marvelous Marva on his team because Marvelous Marva all of a sudden see himself as a leader of the PNM. So he not on Rowley faction, he not on Small Pen faction, he fighting down Penny and Penny don't want him on his faction. And then there's the Manning faction with Brian Manning and Dane Wilson. And also that next one who fighting for constitution and saying we must adhere to the PNM constitution, Ashton Ford, Amory Brown. It's about 4 factions fighting, but Foster, you're in trouble, Foster. Because you wage war on Rowley and now Rowley catch you. Because Foster, you have to account. Is you sign and you serve for the court. And you have to prepare and present to the court documentation, Foster. They coming at you, Foster. You was the stupid one who put your name also as a director of whatever shenanigans they was doing with the construction of Bal House and the other edifice, the car park part. You see, the whole of Trinidad and Tobago does think Bal House, as Randall Mitchell trying to present, is just the red piece where the PNM fake news media would go for Christmas and dribble to get a little hamper and draw a number and play raffle and thing. No, it's the huge part next door. The thing that went down about 3 floors and went up about 7 floors. The 118 to 150 million cumulative cost, Foster, but it's you. And everybody know, Foster, in the PNM and the General Council, that you was in charge of the historic legacy part. The old wooden broken down Bal House. You was in charge of refurbishing and renovating that part. You were in charge of raising funds for that part. And Foster, maybe you could account for that part because you was in charge of that part. So you may have bills and invoices and account numbers and so on for that part. But you see, you made a mistake, Foster. When you get vexed with the red couch thing with the space tooth lady, when you and Rowley cuss out each other and Rowley call you on the phone in Tobago at a retreat and cuss you from 1:15 a.m. to 3:20 a.m. because he found out you had taken his red couch girl and put you on your red couch. Rowley got vexed with you because nothing hurts like a man's scorn. How you go take the man on a woman? From right in the cabinet? Foster, you play with fire and now you get burned. And then on top of that, when you was vexed, Foster, when you're refurbishing and renovating and change up the whole design of the legacy part of the Bal House, Foster, and you call Rowley and the people as a prime minister, as a sitting PNM leader, and pelt him out of the office, tell him come and get the artwork and so on because you're changing up the configuration. Remember that, Foster? Well, that hot Rowley, that hurt Rowley in the heart. And you know, Foster, when Rowley hurt, he does fight you wicked. He don't forget. He's a wicked, vindictive, evil man. So what he did to you, Foster, he said, oh, you feel you in charge of renovation and rebuilding and commitment to Bal House? They keep you out of the other part, the 100 and something million part. Rowley and Rohan handled that part. So you have no information. Foster, you ain't know how that went up. You ain't know where the money come from. But you sign in the airport, police serve you, you responsible. So you had to account. Foster, you in trouble, boy. You either had to sing and sell out Rowley and Rohan, or you going down. Because you had nothing, Foster. Look your Dogra partner here, boy. Not really a partner. But you know I don't lie on all you. Even though they're disgusting, disrespectful, and wicked, I don't lie on all you. So I know, Foster, I know you didn't know nothing about that big part. The part that stopped there. It kinda in black right now. It up there. The fence have bush growing all over it because the work stopped since April 28, 2025. Foster, the Dogra, doubles and coffee, no? You have no information on where that money come from, who paid, who billed, who helped, because Rowley and Rohan kept you out of that. That had nothing to do with you. Only Rowley, Rohan and Smallpin and them knew about that. Where the money come from, where the materials come from, how much was going in, who get contract and who didn't get contract, and who give and who didn't give and who donate. You have a clue, Foster. But Foster, they set you up because you had an account. So you better call Robert LeHunt, the big banker man. And Robert LeHunt, tomorrow doubles and coffees for you, because you playing bastion of support for black people and poor people. You fighting for the ladies at the breakfast shed and so on, Robert LeHunt. Well, I'm going to deal with you. I'm going to remind the people tomorrow of your track record, Mr. Banker, Robert LeHunt. But Foster, this morning is for you, boy, Foster. They catch you. You see, when you disrespect Rowley because you was vexed, because you was hurt about how he cussed you about space and she teeth, you went and pelt out the man. You disrespect a sitting PNM Prime Minister. Tell him come and get all the belongings because you reconfiguring the legacy part of the Balize project, the red part, the red house part there. You was redoing it. You was doing gypsum floor, changing up where the offices and so on. And you tell a PNM leader and sitting Prime Minister, because you had the authority to come and get your stuff and get out, you pelt out the man. Well, now the man catch you. You notice he ain't calling no more press conference. He ain't taking, he wash his hands at that Balize project, the car park part, the big building part, that you have to account for. How you going to do that, Foster? Tell the Douglas, call a press conference. Tell me a lying. Tell me, show the bills, show the invoices, show the accounts. Which account? Foster, you can't. You cannot. Because you don't know. None of all you know. The PNM General Council was asking. Nile Ramsey was asking how this thing went up, where the accounts. I need to account to the PNM. The PNM constitution requires it. And he had to resign in frustration. Because only Rowley, Rohan and Smallpin know. Not you, Foster. But you like position, use General Secretary. So all your ladies and gentlemen, the bacchanal now start. And Brian Manning and that lady Alexis down in Sando East coming for your seat with Foster. But Foster in real trouble. And Foster, you want Camille Maloney's seat? I enjoying it. I have my popcorn. I eating popcorn, doubles and coffee. So Foster, over to you. Account for it. The legacy part, which is painted in bright red. And then the big money part. The car park part. The Balize money rental part. The 6-story, 7-story, 8-story part. The part that Peace take off Tranquility College. That part, Foster, when the court call, how you going to report? Foster, your K-Pax clapping. All of this because of a space and she teeth, girl. Bless.